All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Dr. Seth Lederman. He is the CEO of Tonix Pharmaceuticals. And Dr. Lederman, welcome back. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Steve. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, well, you've got news out regarding some feedback from the FDA on Tonmya. So before we get into the feedback, let's remind everyone a little bit about Tonmya and what you're hoping to use it for.
Thank you. Tonmya is the provisionally accepted name of our drug for fibromyalgia. We've completed two phase 3 studies that had statistically significant advantages on the primary endpoint. So we believe the package is ready for FDA submission and approval. And the press release was that we've now met with FDA for our pre-NDA meetings, and we reported positive feedback from those meetings.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us about what they had to say when you mentioned positive feedback? And I would imagine it was exactly what you were expecting.
It was exactly what we were expecting. We believe that we fulfilled all the requirements for NDA submission, and the purpose of a pre-NDA meeting is to interact with FDA before you submit the document. And we went over what we plan to submit, and they reviewed it, and we have alignment on what's required. And to remind you, we completed two large studies in fibromyalgia. And in addition to that, we have a lot of other information that's required to support the submission. But since we fulfilled the statutory requirement of two adequate and well-controlled studies, and we believe all the other data are sufficient. And in general, our discussion with FDA was that there's alignment on what we think is required and what we plan to submit, and with what they're expecting.
And just so people understand, this is a very crucial step because the FDA wants stuff to come to them that they're aware of. They know what's coming, so they're prepared to take the next steps if needed. And that's why these meetings are really important and a really important part of the regulatory process moving forward.
Exactly. The NDA document itself, I'm not guiding to how big ours will be, but it's not uncommon that the document is about 1 million pages, and this lots of tables and charts and study reports and many things like that. So a very complicated document. And and this involves for Tonix 12 years of work. It's very exciting to be the leader of a company that's actually taking their drug to filing the NDA. So
Yeah.
because this is called a 505(b)(2) application, we expect to submit the NDA in the second half of this year. And then 60 days later, there's something called NDA acceptance. And at that time, we'll be awarded a PDUFA date. And then from NDA acceptance until the PDUFA date will be 8 months. So 10 months from submission, 8 months from acceptance. So we're very close to an FDA decision on our filing. And this is the first new fibromyalgia drug we expect in more than 15 years. And the first drug for fibromyalgia that has statistically significant results in our last study in all three of pain, fatigue, and sleep quality. So in the past, the earlier drugs, the blockbuster Lyrica and the blockbuster Cymbalta, had effects on improving pain, but did not improve both sleep and fatigue. So it's a new mechanism of action, a new product. We're excited about the results and the tolerability. So yeah, we're moving down the pathway towards what we hope will be an FDA approval next year in 2025.
I know it's been a lot of work to get to this point. Congratulations on that. And we look forward to continuing to follow this as it unveils itself in the months and year ahead. So Dr. Lederman, thank you so much. Great to see you again.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for your interest.
Dr. Seth Lederman, the CEO of Tonix Pharmaceuticals.